Bank tellers of Reddit, what is your plan if someone sends bees through the tube? Home Depot used to have a tube system. One day the garden center caught a yellow jacket in the tube. Everyone was freaking out and sending the tube back and forth, until a brave soul, head cashier, managed to cram a bag with a roll of dimes into the tube while the yellow jacket was stunned on the bottom. It was just enough to remove the threat and save the day. Pushes back bees out the tube. Wrong currency, mate, not a bank teller. If they weren't in a pod, it'd be pretty impressive if they got from one entrance to another in a vacuum tube system without being smooshed by a tube. I'd probably be more impressed than annoyed if they were in a pod. The whole buzzing and seeing things move around in the pod would be a signal not to open it. Not worked in a bank, but did work in a supermarket with a vacuum tube system from the tills to the accounting room. Okay, first of all I want to know how someone got bees into the tube in the first place. I feel like this question raises many other questions. It would allow me shout, not the bees. I'd expect the robber would be so thoroughly amused by the Nicolas Cage reference that he would shake my hand, have a good laugh and hand himself into the police. Open a BeeSNES account. I'm not a bank teller, but I would grab the lollipops we have out to give away to kids and use them to win the bees over. I would tell them there are plenty more lollipops if they come back and bring friends. I would then hide my new army of bees in an ATM and wait for you to return. Oh. I was a teller forever ago, but I just wouldn't have opened the goddamn canister. Not all beekeepers do this, but I actually remove feral bees from people's houses and rehive them in my apiary. I have a lot of bees. If I didn't respect them as much as I do, I could totally spare a few dozen workers to send up a bank teller tube. The queen could replace them in a few hours. So yeah, this scenario is actually technically plausible. Not sure why I'd do it, though. Mind your own beeswax. Alright, son, you asked for it. Here's how you rob a bank with bees. First off, bumblebees ain't gonna cut it here. Honey-loving bumblebees don't rob banks. They stay home and make honey. Now we can opt for the adorable, Africanized killer bee. https www.google.com/imgra. IMG URL equals https://2a%2f%2upload.wikimedia.org%2f Wikipedia%2f Commons%2f D%2f2f2f_millifera_scootalata .jpg and imgrifurl equals https://3a%2f%2fen.wikipedia.org%2fwiki%2f Africanized_bntbnid equals duco_amjgwq0crm and bet equals 12r. UKEWI2KPJ9JNAHXDBD8KHSU1C_OQ_MyGeaGUIARD5AQ Iron doside equals BW8_1 IPI6GQNM and W equals 3072 and H equals 2077 and Q equals African%20 killer. R%20 bees and safe equals often bead equals 2AAHUKEWI2 KPJ9JNAHXDBD8KHSU1C_OQ MyGeaGUIARD5AQ. But my recommendation is to go with the wasps. If you have the budget, of course, as bees are limited to one sting per bee. The wasps and hornets don't have such limitations. Honestly, using bees is like trying to rob a bank with a crossbow. It's not a good idea. Speaking of wasps, and you really prefer American, the classic paper wasps and yellow jackets. https www.google.com/search Q equals yellow jacket and TBM equals ish and HL equals N and safe equals off and TBS equals ISZ. L and PRMD equals IVN and safe equals off and HL equals N and VD equals 2 RUKLW3JPTI underscore NJNRUHZ98KHAZOAKOQ25AT Kia I and BIW equals 414 and BIH equals 896 Hashim GRC equals B0 T2XKAVBILCJM can be controlled relatively well with a good and healthy queen. For small-town banks, you have many choices, but if you're looking for something more robust, intimidating, the Japanese hornet, Suzumabachi, https www.google.com/imgra IMG URL equals https:3a%2f%2f upload.wikimedia.org%2f Wikipedia%2f Commons%2f 9%2f 97%2f mail_vesper_mandrinia DSC _1515.jpg and imgrifurl equals https:3a%2f%2fen.wikipedia.org%2f Japanese_giant_hornet and TBNID equals RDQIGMVCME JM and vet equals 12 RUKUE USOGO 9 JNAHUFJD8 KHVFPBWGQ MIGBEG UIARDBAQ I and OSID equals _QHRBEGCSZHM and W equals 3000 and H equals 1993 and Q equals Suzu Mabachi %20 size %20 scale and HL equals N and safe equals off and VD equals 2 RUKUE USOGO 9 JNAHUFJD8 KHVFPBWGQ MIGBEG UIARDBAQ will be your best bet. Its great size, aggressiveness and ferocity will attract and lure gunfire, as any person with a gun will immediately be tempted to shoot it. They also say, "Fuck your tube," which will leave you basically free rein throughout the bank. Make sure to lather wasp essence on yourself so you don't get stung yourself. And they will hover near you and land on you and love you like a dog. Recently in China, there has been a new discovery on an even bigger, badder, Godzilla hornet. http translate.google.com/translate JS equals N and SL equals auto and TL equals destination _language and U equals http www.xinhua.com/culture/2019-03/06/C_112419818.83.htm. But regretfully I haven't had the pleasure of working with them. Once the wasps and/or hornets are released, you will have a small window of time to rob the bank. Good luck, friend. Make them watch the Bee Movie. I'm honestly more worried about why someone would have bees in their car to begin with, really. Probably get Reddit gold on Tales from Your Bank. Start playing Honey Honey on full blast. I hate the song personally, but it'd be a hilarious joke. This was a discussion on our banking the other week. https reddit.com/r/bankings/comments/fogn33/bankers_what_for_ifen_someone/ It won't bring back your goddamn money. Take it outside and release them. The canister doesn't automatically open, so bees would stay contained until someone opens it. I'd also flag that person's account profile and report it to our security division. But I work for a small community bank, so I don't know if that's possible if you work somewhere like Wells Fargo. Alex, suspiciously specific face with raised eyebrow. Beads? ? I honestly don't understand anything in this thread. What the fuck kind of banks do y'all have? Tubes? Canisters? Cars? Can't tell if this is in the 19th or the 22nd century. Send out a quarter for every 5 bees. You simply don't open the reception chamber. Most have a window so you can see a capsule in the pneumatic tube system. If somehow bees got inside of the pneumatic tube system without being in a capsule, it's likely they would get crushed by the pneumatic system. Normally a capsule is sent flying at 25 feet per second. Just on the pressure of air alone. 18-mile-per-hour wind. On the Beaufort wind scale, this is moderate to fresh breeze. Totally fine in terms of air, but bees can handle up to 20 miles per hour of activity. That means they will cling to something like walls. Which means if a capsule is sent and the bees don't move from the tube wall, they will be crushed. Guts everywhere. You'd have to be careful. But you'd have to wing it to make sure they don't break into the vault and unleash the whole lot in there. Once the bees have been in a tube for any length of time, they'll be angry and will exhibit erratic behavior. Alert the cops in case this is part of a sting operation. Ensure you're aware of the undercover officer so you can buzz him/her in. What is this tube you speak of? Is it specific to American banks? Never heard of this in Canada. This dude is planning to rob a bank using bees. I like it. Honey, I'd be buzzing with stinging rage. Open that shit and let him sting me while I run away so I can sue and let that person pay off my student loans. Ask the customer if they want to deposit him into checking or savings. Oh God, no. Not the bees. My father actually worked at the bank where this story originated from. The outcome was an absolute disaster as a few of the workers were allergic and went into anaphylactic shock. Here's the article. https u2.be/dqw4w9wgxcq. What's your plan if someone sends bees through the tube? Plan B, of course. I used to be a teller. The little container has to be closed for them to send it over. We would see the bees and not open the container. I used to be a bank teller. Spoiler alert. We can send the bees back to you and then shut the tube system off. Counter with attack wasps. Duh. I'm just going to eat them and tbh. Bank tellers, now I have a new fear. Upvoted for creativity. Why would anyone open a clear container filled with bees? Tubey or not tubies, that is the question. We have a tube system at the hospital I work at for sending meds, blood products, samples etc. around the hospital. One time I found a spider dangling from the ceiling and I freaked out. I grabbed the nearby tube, trapped the spider in it and then froze because I didn't know what to do now. So I loaded it in the tube system and pressed empty send. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.